Norway versus England, a European clash with a lot of quality. Two teams that are in great form and a spot in the semi-finals as a reward. The match will be played at Lumen Field in Seattle, a spectacular stadium that will offer an extraordinary atmosphere for a knockout game that promises intensity from the first minute to the last. Norway is proving to be one of the big surprises of the tournament. After knocking out Brazil in the round of 16, the team led by Stolt Solbakken comes in brimming with confidence and convinced that they can keep making history. On the other side will be an England team that also had to work very hard to knock out Mexico. The English team once again showed that they know how to compete in high-pressure matches. They will be looking to return to a World Cup semi-final, but at this stage of the tournament, there are no clear favorites anymore. It doesn't matter how you got here, it doesn't matter the path you took, everything comes down to 90 minutes. If necessary, there will be extra time, and if the tie still persists, penalties. Only one will keep dreaming of lifting the World Cup. Millions of fans are looking for the same information. What time does Norway play against England? In Spain, the match will start at 11 p.m. In Portugal, it will kick off at 10 p.m. In Norway, the match will start at 11 p.m. In England, the ball will start rolling at 10 p.m. In Mexico Central Time, the match will start at 4 p.m. In Colombia, Peru, Ecuador, and Panama, the match will start at 4 p.m. In Costa Rica, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, and Nicaragua, it will be at 3 p.m. In Venezuela, Bolivia, Chile, and Paraguay, it will start at 5 p.m. In Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil, the kickoff will be at 6 p.m. In the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and Cuba, the match will start at 5 p.m. If you're following us from the United States, these are the times. East Coast, New York, Miami, Orlando, 5 p.m. Central Time Zone, Chicago, Dallas, Houston, 4 p.m. Mountain Time Zone, Denver, 3 p.m. West Coast, Seattle, Los Angeles, San Francisco, 2 p.m. in Canada, Toronto, Ottawa, and Montreal, 5 p.m. Winnipeg, 4 p.m. Calgary and Edmonton, 3 p.m. Vancouver, 2 p.m. So now you know. Check your schedule carefully, because we're about to witness one of the most exciting matches of these quarterfinals. Norway wants to keep surprising the world. Meanwhile, England is looking to confirm their bid for the title. Section 2. Where to watch Norway versus England. Television channels and official platforms. And now, let's get to the information you're looking for the most. Where can you watch Norway versus England live? If you are in England, the match can be followed on BBC and ITV. The channels that have the rights to the World Cup in the United Kingdom. Coverage will begin several hours earlier with analysis, interviews, live reports from Seattle, and the latest updates from both teams. In Norway, the match can be seen on NRK and TV2 Norway. To follow what could be one of the most important matches in the recent history of the Norwegian national team. In Spain, the match can be watched completely free-to-air on Televisión Española's La One, as well as on RTV Play. To follow the match from any device, it will also be available on DAZN, with full coverage of the 2026 World Cup. In Portugal, the broadcast will be handled by Sport TV. In Mexico, the match can be followed on Canal 5 Las Estrellas, 2DN Bigs. In the United States, the match will be available as follows. In English, on Fox Sports app and Fox One. In Spanish, on Telemundo, Peacock, and Fubo. In Canada, the broadcast will be on TSN, CTV, and RDS. In South America, the match can be followed on D Sports and DGO, as well as the main national networks, Argentina, Telefe, TI Sports, D Sports, and DGO, Brazil, TV Globo, Sport TV, and Café TV, Chile, Chilevisión, and D Sports. Colombia, Caracol Televisión, RCN, D Sports and DGO. Peru, América Televisión, D Sports and DGO. Ecuador, Teleamazonas, D Sports and DGO. Uruguay, D Sports and DGO. Paraguay, Tigo Sports, D Sports and DGO. Venezuela, Televen, D Sports and DGO. Bolivia, Red Uno, Unitel, D Sports and DGO. In Central America, the broadcast will be on Costa Rica, Teletica, Guatemala, Chapin TV, Honduras, Televicentro, El Salvador, TCS, Nicaragua, Canal 10. Panama, RPC TV and TVN. And in the Caribbean, countries like the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and Cuba will be able to watch the match through D Sports, DGO, and local operators with broadcasting rights. After reviewing the schedules and TV channels, it's time to dive right into the match. Possible lineups, individual matchups, and tactical keys for this Norway versus England match. Let's start with Norway, which could stick to its usual 4-3 formation with a very physical, direct team that's dangerous whenever they can break forward. In goal would be Ariane Neyland. The defense could be made up of Julian Rierson at right back, Christopher Ayer and Leo Stigor as center backs, and David Müller-Wolf at left back. In midfield, Sander Berge would be the player responsible for providing balance, accompanied by Patrick Berg and Martin Ødegaard. And up front, the great Norwegian trio would appear. Antonio Nusa on the left, Alexander Sorlo attacking from the other side, and Erling Haaland as the attacking focal point. England, on the other hand, could line up with a very recognizable 4-2-3-1 setup. In goal would be Jordan Pickford. In defense, Trent Alexander-Arnold or Kyle Walker at right back, John Stones and Mark G as centre backs, and Luke Shaw or Lewis Hall at left back. In the double pivot, Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham could appear, although Bellingham could also play a few meters further forward. In the attacking line, Bukayo Saka would start from the right, Phil Foden would have freedom in the middle, and Anthony Gordon could take the left wing. As the center forward, Harry Kane would be the main reference point. The first big key to the match will be the duel between Haaland and the English center backs. Norway knows they don't need to dominate possession to cause damage. It's enough for them to hit a long ball, spring a quick break, or send in a cross from wide for Haaland to turn an apparently harmless play into a clear scoring chance. That's why Stones and Wehe will have to be very attentive to his movements, especially when he attacks the space between the center-back and the full-back. The second big battle will be in the midfield. Ødegaard against Rice and Bellingham could set the pace of the match. If the Norwegian captain manages to receive the ball freely between the lines, Norway will be able to connect with Haaland, Sorloth and Nusa. But if England manages to press him and force him to play with his back to the goal, the Norwegian team will lose its main playmaker. The duel between Saka and the Norwegian left-back will also be fundamental. England will try to isolate Saka in one-on-one situations because from there he can take on defenders, cross, or look for his shot with his left foot. On the other side, Norway will look to take advantage of Nusa's speed to attack behind the English right-back. And watch out for set pieces. Norway has a lot of aerial power with Haaland, Sorloth, Ayer and Ødegaard. England also has specialists and very strong players in the air, so every corner or wide free kick can turn into a goal-scoring opportunity. The match could be decided by a very simple matter: who manages to impose their game. If England dominates with the ball and forces Norway to defend very deep, they will have many chances to control the match. But if Norway manages to turn it into a match of transitions, physical duels, and direct attacks, Haaland could become the big threat of the night. England has more control. Norway has a tremendous firepower, and in a quarterfinal, a single play can change absolutely everything.